This is the Fight Nerd. I'm here now at Progressive Martial Arts in Queens with the owner, Nick Sakoulis. Nick, how are you?
Pretty good. How you doing?
I'm pretty good. Now, the last time we saw you guys was actually our gear review of the Burn Machine with Eric Paulson. That went really well. Yep. And we're hoping today we're going to have similar results with the product we're looking at, which is the Ring to Cage Professional Focus Mitts. These guys are from, as I mentioned, Ring to Cage. They're pretty big. Nick, first impressions upon seeing them?
I thought we were going to review some shoes. I mean, when you first brought it out, it kind of looked like a shoe, but it has this extra padding here, which is pretty interesting. I've never seen it before in a glove, but it looked pretty good. Nice and sturdy, so looking forward to it.
Now, before we get into testing, let's have a little word from the manufacturer about what are in these things. The Ring to Cage Deluxe Curved Focus Mitts are constructed with leather and measure 10 inches high and 8 inches wide, with 2 inches of dense foam core padding inside. The gloves are double-stitched on back and slightly curved to fit the natural contours of the palm. The slip-on style hand compartment securely and comfortably anchors the mitts to your hand, and this thick mitt is designed to offer extra protection for wrists, forearms, hands, and fingers. The mitts retail for $90 on ringtocage.com. With that out of the way, it was time for Coach Nick Sakoulis and his testers to slip on their mitts and their gloves and give these very large and interestingly designed focus mitts a run for their money.
It felt pretty comfortable. You know, a little getting used to in the beginning, but again, they have this extra support back here, which really helped out, especially when they started kicking it. I was actually surprised. I could take a pretty good kick, as well as knees.
Hitting the focus mitt was fine. They're comfortable. As far as putting my hand in them and taking the impact, it felt pretty comfortable. It felt warm.
If I was holding for someone who's a lot bigger than me for like a couple of rounds, I definitely would want to use something like this. Especially on the wrist, if the person's not very accurate. Yeah, a lot of times on focus mitts, the point of impact is very small. If they keep hitting that point, you're fine. But if the person is just slightly off on any of the points, especially on the wrist part, you take 5 or 6 punches to the wrist. You know, I've done classes where I'm holding 20, 30 rounds for guys, and you know, by the end of the day, I feel like my arms are getting a beating. So this is actually pretty good.
It also has this extra protection here for the feeder, so that way your fingers don't get snagged up, but it also protects the boxer, where you're not, you know, catching with any hard edges or, you know, catching your finger in his eye or anything like that. So I really like that.
It feels really comfortable in here, really cushy, but at the same time it's really bulky. Like I wouldn't be able to do certain things with this. At the same time, I feel like Mega Man with this, which is kind of cool.
On the striking and the punches, it definitely felt really good. And again, like I said, it was very surprising on how well it took a kick. You know, I had them just drill that kick in full power. The one plus about the extra padding is when I held it against my thigh, I feel my knuckles digging into my thigh, so that was another big plus.
There's not too many focus mitts that you could throw a full blast kick on. And again, it was very surprising how well of a round kick they could take, even going with the shin. It was pretty good. I didn't really feel any impact on my part.
I think that this was pretty good in absorbing most of the strikes, from the round kick to all the punches. Off the round kick, off of the punches, everything was pretty solid.
As far as like movement, they're a little bulky for like the finer moves, like slipping and bobbing and weaving. They're a little big. It feels like they're just constantly clipping you, like I'm either getting a gear taken off or, you know, something. They're just like, it feels like you're getting hit with you know, 25-ounce gloves or something.
One thing about it, they're just a little bit too warm. All right, a lot of padding on the inside. The ball is really big. A little extra cushion on the inside of the pad. Keeps your hands pretty warm, so for long periods of time, you definitely start to feel it.
If I'm just feeding, after 5-6 rounds, they're gonna get pretty soaked. They feel like mittens on the inside. They're extremely warm. The material doesn't feel very airy, so I think after a month or so, I probably would have to throw them out. I don't see a way to really clean them or air them out, since they're so compact on the inside.
$90 for coaches. They want extra protection, especially against the bigger hitters. I would recommend these. You know, you're going to go with someone that's going to be like a heavyweight or super heavyweight. It definitely protects the holder. So that's definitely a plus.
I don't really think so, but they're a solid focus mitt.
In my opinion, no. $90, not really. My background is mostly Thai boxing. For $90, I could get a really good pair of Thai pads that I don't really have to worry about. They'll last me 5-6 years easy, you know.
Overall, nice construction. Nice pair of gloves.
Okay, so we're done testing out the Ring to Cage Professional Focus Mitts. Pretty good reviews overall, a little mixed on certain things. Nick, what would you say was one of the biggest concerns about these mitts today?
For me, it was the lining. You know, I wish they had that Drymax type of lining inside this glove. They just felt a little warm over long periods of time. You know, I like the padding on the front, the lining to protect the holder as well as the feeder. It's a sturdy glove, well made, good stitching.
Now, the other major gripe we had actually from all the testers today was the price of these. These guys are $90, as we mentioned. $90 you felt a little bit mixed about as well.
Yeah, it's a little steep for a focus mitt, but you know, again, I guess you get what you pay for, right?
So you'd say it's a good mitt, just the price might be a little off for you.
Yeah, a little bit much.
All right, well, if you guys want to check out more information about the Ring to Cage Focus Mitts, just head on to ringtocage.com. And if you guys want to learn more about Progressive Martial Arts where we tested today, Nick, how do we find out about your gym?
You go to www.progressivemartialarts.com.
All right, and we'll see you guys later for another gear review. Thanks for watching.
It's so soft in here. It's like soft.
This is the Fight Nerd. I'm here now at Progressive Martial Arts in Queens with the owner, Nick Sakoulis. Nick, how are you?
Pretty good. How you doing?
I'm pretty good. Now, the last time we saw you guys was actually our gear review of the Burn Machine with Eric Paulson. That went really well. Yep. And we're hoping today we're going to have similar results with the product we're looking at, which is the Ring to Cage Professional Focus Mitts. These guys are from, as I mentioned, Ring to Cage. They're pretty big. Nick, first impressions upon seeing them?
I thought we were going to review some shoes. I mean, when you first brought it out, it kind of looked like a shoe, but it has this extra padding here